With his latest film, Nosferatu, Robert Eggers has now established himself as one of the best up-and-coming directors currently working in Hollywood. With his insane Rotten Tomatoes scores for each of his films, this guy seems like he can't miss.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No.
But that begs the question, which of his films are the best, and how would you rank them? I just watched Robert Eggers' latest masterpiece, Nosferatu. For some reason in Australia, we had to wait until January, but I think that Robert Eggers is going to become one of the greatest directors of all time. So what better time than now to rank his first 4 feature films? At number 4, we have The Northman. Directed by Robert Eggers in 2022, Prince Amleth is on the verge of becoming a man when his father is brutally murdered by his uncle, who kidnaps the boy's mother. 2 decades later, Amleth is now a Viking who's on a mission to save his mother, kill his uncle, and avenge his father. This guy is genuinely incapable of making a bad film, and the fact that the lowest rating for a film on this list is 4 stars, that really says a lot. As I'll say for every movie on this list, the attention to detail here with the historical setting and the world building is astounding. My only complaint with this film is that it's a little hard to empathize with the main character taking part in massacring villages. But hey, that's the Viking way, right? The way that this movie portrays the idea of legacy, family, and fate through a mystical Viking lens, and how it almost feels like a video game at the same time, is just so freaking epic. The homage to Viking lore and beliefs is really special too. Every scene with the Tree of Ancestors is just so cool, and the soundtrack there goes so hard. So why is it on the bottom of this list? Well, the movie pretty much suffers from the rest of Eggers' filmography being extremely good. I've only seen The Northman once, and I cannot wait to revisit it again one day because I think that 4-star rating could definitely jump up. Before I jump into the top 3, I just want to highlight one other thing that I love about Eggers' filmography. His casting. Straight off the bat, Willem DaFoe featuring in 3 out of the 4 movies here is just awesome. I love Willem DaFoe so much, and in each of the Lighthouse, the Northman, and Nosferatu, he just brings so much screen presence and charisma. Ralph Ineson has also featured in 3 of his movies as well. He is a personal favourite of mine from The Green Knight, and that is a film itself that does kind of feel like it could fit into Eggers' filmography. But yeah, I just love his voice so much. Of course, we also have to mention Anya Taylor-Joy, who features in 2 of his films, but overall, even some big actors that have only featured in 1 of his movies so far, like Robert Pattinson or Nicholas Hoult, these are huge names that are a joy to watch on screen, and they just seem to fit the historical and mystical tone of these movies so well. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite character or casting in an Eggers film, but now, back to the ranking. At number 3, we have The VVITCH, directed by Robert Eggers in 2015. In 1630, a farmer relocates his family to a remote plot of land on the edge of a forest where strange, unsettling things happen. With suspicion and paranoia mount, each family member's faith, loyalty, and love are tested in shocking ways. Again, you'll get sick of me saying it, but Eggers' dedication to the time period of his respective film is on full display here, even when it's his first feature. This is an absolute breakout performance from Anya Taylor-Joy. Eggers' casting is always superb, as I mentioned just before. Another notable recurrence across Eggers' work is how he deliberately writes his scripts to adhere to the language of the time when the film is set. more casual cinema viewers or people that aren't as interested in history might find this a little frustrating, and yes, the dialogue can be a bit challenging to follow at times, but I think that just adds to the beauty of Eggers' filmography, and that all of these films feel like a genuine time machine back to the time period in which they were made. Did someone say genuine time machine? The VVITCH perfectly captures the mass paranoia of its time, the fear of the supernatural and the unknown, how one's devotion to faith and religion can be dangerous if it goes to the point of becoming violent and becoming all about paranoia. As a Christian myself, I think Christianity is meant to be about love, not division, and this time period shows the terrible dangers of forgetting that. And you just have to look at the Salem witch trials. This was a terrible chapter in history, and especially terrible for how women particularly and everyone involved were treated at this time. The movie does an excellent job of exploring that and also taking these stories to their full extreme, imagining what it would really be like if witchcraft was real, or what those of the time would have imagined it to be like. Watching this movie, you could place yourself in feeling the very same fear that the people of the time would have had. And at number 2, we have Nosferatu, Robert Eggers' latest film, released in 2024. A gothic tale of obsession between a haunted young woman and the terrifying vampire infatuated with her, causing untold horror in its wake. Man, this was just a joy to watch and be immersed in the 1838 world, and I know that I'm repeating myself, but it is just such a consistent theme across Eggers' work because the world building here is awesome. So many different locations, costumes, set design, the language. It's full immersion into the time period, which is exactly what you want, and for me, it's a genuinely disturbing and creepy film. The film mixes eroticism with horror and disgust, and I felt like Nosferatu himself was a great representation of all the evil emotions and darkness in this world that can threaten to overtake us all. There's not always going to be a happily ever after ending, but there are always people who fight against that darkness. Willem DaFoe absolutely lights up the screen here once again. I love the 1800s language so much, and what a rap sheet for Bill Skarsgård playing the clown from It and now Nosferatu. Such a G, playing such creepy characters, and I just love Nicholas Hoult as well. One of the best movies of 2024 and shows that Eggers just can't miss. And at number 1, the best Eggers film, you know what it is. We have The Lighthouse.
May Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow! Hark!
Let Neptune strike ye dead, Winslow! Hark!
Two lighthouse keepers try to maintain their sanity while living on a remote and mysterious New England island in the 1890s. This is just an all-time classic. So memorable, so memeable, a killer atmosphere, an acting masterclass from Robert Pattinson and Willem DaFoe once again, and the movie feels right out of the 1890s. I was lucky enough to have the unique experience of watching this movie for the first time while staying at a hostel in Moscow, Russia, and watching it with a few locals. It was awesome to share that viewing experience with them and see their reactions as well. Such a great memory that I'm so thankful to have. I love how this movie really just shows how crazy isolation can make you, especially if it's two blokes getting on the beers and farting all the time. I remember in COVID, this was so relatable. The creepy, mystical elements are incorporated really well. The dialogue and the script just feel so genuine to the time period of the film, and beneath it all, there's deeper meaning to explore. The hidden symbolism, Winslow's guilt from the past, his descent into insanity. And please give Willem DaFoe an Oscar, please, one of these lads, surely. Robert Eggers, ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't miss. He just comes out with banger after banger after banger. According to an interview with IndieWire, Eggers has completed the script for a medieval epic, The Knight, as well as an unnamed Western film. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait to see those. In the meantime though, please consider subscribing. My next video is going to be covering the best 50 films coming out in 2025. It is going to be a huge year, guys. Make sure you let me know down in the comments your rankings for Robert Eggers' filmography, and I'll see you guys in the next one.